Hey, what's going on, guys? Welcome to 360 Victory Podcast. Today, I am going to talk about something that I was talking about someone this morning at the hotel, and that is becoming financially free. Here's why. The lady that I was talking to this morning, she told me that it is damn near impossible to become financially free, and I disagree. Really important that will help you grow your business. Here's why I disagree. I disagree because I am nothing special. I am nothing great. I'm nothing out of the ordinary. I'm just a kid that came from the hood, came from the streets. I lived in government housing. My parents were missionaries. I grew up in the Philippines, in South America. I literally lived in abject poverty that we can't imagine here in America. Well, actually we can. There are places in America like that, and I'm passionate about bringing people out of poverty. I lived in poverty, and I built a company that processes over $100 million worth of data per year. How did that happen? It happened because of three things. And if you apply these three things to your life, you can be financially free just like I became. Number one, you have to change your inputs. What do I mean by input? I mean the things that go in your eyes that you see and go in your ears that you hear. It's just that simple. I don't ever just watch TV mindlessly. Maybe once in a while. I go watch UFC fights. I really like UFC, right? Or MMA, right? I go watch stuff like that. Or I watch the Super Bowl, the World Series, or the championships, whatever. But I don't spend hours and hours of my life just inputting things into my brain that bring me no value, right? What are you listening to in the car? Are you just listening to music? Or are you listening to a podcast that's going to change your life and change your identity and your beliefs and going to empower you to become someone greater? Listen, if I can recommend one podcast, it's the Ed Mylett Show on Apple Podcasts, YouTube, Spotify, wherever. Look this guy up, Ed Mylett, and listen to his podcast, because we're talking about a guy that's worth $500 million, and he is empowering you guys to change your life and giving you practical tools to do that. The reason why I even created this show is because I want to show people what I'm doing on a day-to-day basis, and then give you the tools, the mindset, and the practicality of how that works out, right? I want to talk about what I'm experiencing in business. So follow that. If you can get some value out of this podcast, if you can get anything out of this podcast today, is that it's not impossible to be financially free. Number one, you've got to change your inputs, what goes in. You got to change the people that you're listening to. You've got to change the people that you allow to influence you. Whoever influences you, that's where you're going to be in life, period. Whoever is the person that you allow to pour into your heart, that is exactly the life that you're going to live. And furthermore, whatever leaders you have in business, their identity and their values will be transferred to you. If you have people that say one thing and do another, if those people are leading you, get out. Get out. I have sacrificed a lot in my life, and I will sacrifice everything in my life to do business with integrity, to do business the right way, to treat people the way I would want to be treated. Jesus Christ said, "There is no greater commandment than this." All the law, everything in the whole Bible can be summed up by this. Love the Lord your God with all your heart, soul, mind, and strength, and love your neighbor as yourself. Treat others the way you'd want to be treated. And people are oh, yeah, that's the golden rule. I heard that in Sunday school, whatever. Well, guess what? I'm actually using that to revolutionize an industry. And I'll show you how, so keep watching. But that's my first thing. Number two is you have to be quantifiable in your actions. So you can dream and talk and hope to be financially free, but if you don't actually put actions behind it, it's never going to happen for you. You have to have a quantifiable action to getting there. And here's what I mean by that. If you have a goal, right, and let's say you want to make $100,000 a year. Okay, how much money do you need to make every quarter for your Do a quarterly report for yourself. Do a monthly report for yourself. Do a weekly report for yourself. Do a daily report to yourself, or someone that you trust. And you know what? Don't allow your best friends or your mom and dad or your brother and sister to be the person that keeps you accountable, because they love you and they'll tell you, oh, it's okay, you didn't hit your goal, you didn't make it happen, oh, that's okay, you'll get him next month, you'll get him next quarter, you'll get him next year, you'll get him next decade. Well, you know what? You're gonna get him in the next lifetime with that attitude. My accountability partner, my business partner, keeps me accountable, and he does not allow me to slack off and to just do whatever I want. Why? Because we're friends, but we're not friends, and we're not just allowing each other to be mediocre. We're bringing out greatness out of each other. Be friends with people that bring out greatness in your life, and that is how you take yourself to the next level. Don't be around those mediocre people that you went to high school and college with and they're your buddies, because they want you to stay where they are so they can feel justified in staying where they are. They want you to never like really be more successful than them, because it makes them insecure. It makes them feel, and rightfully so, like they're not doing enough, which they probably aren't. But the point is that have a third party almost that isn't like your buddy or your friend or your brother, like keep you accountable. Or if it is your brother, make sure that brother drills down into you that accountability, that quantifiable accountability. I just dropped my watch. Oh wait, I dropped something. I'm not sure what I dropped. Anyways, the third thing, and I'm out of here because I have to run to an appointment, is simply this, guys. I can only tell you how to be successful to a degree, and I can only give you my tools or give you my strategies to a degree. You watch the Ed Milet show, he can only give you that mindset to a degree. He cannot actually force you to be successful. Listen, guys, you're looking at someone that, in my personal opinion, I'm good at teaching and showing someone how I do business. I literally put someone under my wing, tucked him under my wing, paid for his food, paid his way, and worked with him for like months, right? Put him in my car, drove him around with me, allowed him to see the actual practicality of how I do business. But guess what? When he left my car, when I couldn't work with him every single day, when like we couldn't, when I had to move on to go help other people, he just stopped. He couldn't and won't do it on his own, because you can't force people to be successful. I cannot force you to be successful. I cannot cram it down your throat that you must be financially free. Your success and your financial freedom has to come from you actually taking action. I can't force you. Your mom can't force you. Your dad can't force you. Your son, your daughters, your kids can't force you to be successful. You have to do it for yourself. You have to do it. You have to actually take the action. My mentor, business coach, best friend, business partner, he told me this morning. He's like, man, you can look at the gurus and you can look at those people that make hundreds of millions of dollars, billions of dollars a year, and they'll give you all of this advice, and that's all nice and good. There's nothing wrong with that. But at the end of the day, you just got to go to work. You've just got to go out, get your nose bloodied, get punched in the mouth, get knocked down, get stuck, get crash into things, and just go to work and figure out how you're going to make this process work. And if you DM me, I'll help you along the way. But you just have to go to work. That's really the end game. Is I can tell you what to do, but you've got to go out and actually do it for yourself. So my point in saying that and in saying these things is to tell you it is not impossible to be financially free. It is absolutely possible for every single person that ever watches this. There's 13 million millionaires out there in this country, and every single one of them had an excuse of why they cannot be successful, and they had an excuse of why they can't make it. And any excuse that you could ever bring, someone else has had that excuse, and guess what? They made it work, And that's why they're worth over $1 million today, because no excuse ever should be good enough for you in business, because no excuse that I can ever give my son Isaac is good enough for him. Okay? Your children, your legacy, your life, the people that are counting on you to be successful, they do not accept excuses. They only accept you doing the very best you can, doing it with integrity, doing it consistently, and changing your life from the inside out. And that's what this podcast is for. It is designed to help you have victory in every area of your life. And with that being said, I gotta run. God bless you. I hope you guys subscribe, and I hope you got some value out of that. We'll talk to you soon. Bye-bye.